with what they've done the whole entire season. You gotta give West Virginia some credit on that, and you gotta be worried if you're a Boise fan. Boise State versus West Virginia. The winner moves on to championship Sunday and has a date with Northwood. Let's see who it is.
We've got the best from the West. Boise State against the top dogs from across the pond in West Virginia. It's always a flawless season for Boise, 15-0, but can West Virginia break this streak? The desk doesn't seem to think so.
Suppose understandable, and we are a little short-handed on our Boise State film, but one thing is for certain, you cannot doubt the 15-0 record. It takes skill and consistency to top any region with perfection. We'll see if Woozy, Durtho, and Preston have what it takes to beat a dangerous West Virginia squad. The attack is lethal over there on West Virginia's side of things.
Both teams, this is the best season I think both these schools have ever had, and although West Virginia, that's a quick shot. How was that save? Okay, anyway, West Virginia 12-3 season. They've only lost to Akron Blue and both the Northwoods. Very respectable region. Is it the best? Bates seems to think so, but I think we start to figure that out in this match where we have the best of both sides. For now, though, it's West Virginia showing a lot of good potential.
Ooh, and a chance there. Unfortunately, Preston, deep back, grabbing boost, not in position to take a shot. Durtho having to cover up a dangerous push from Daunt. Virginia definitely keeping, I will say, Boise State tied down. Nobody's been really able to gain an advantage, but certainly have not seen Boise State flex the muscles just yet.
Preston at least leads the charge, but Daunt sends it right back to sender. A little bit of back and forth, and West Virginia hesitate on whether they want to leave their half with how quickly Boise is spinning the ball right back at them. Now Preston continues to try and connect there with Woozy as Durtho helps get some inches there for Boise to move to that orange half, but in terms of kind of getting an offensive setup going, it hasn't really generated yet for Boise.
And Preston working out of the corner and no help there, and that's kind of surprising. A team like 15-0, I feel like I would be expecting Boise State to be ready in the center for balls passed around there, is collecting a loose touch. Angel air dribbling through the middle. Daunt with a lot of time and a lot of boost to work with. Can't get a lot done there though. Woozy quick to meet him up towards the ceiling.
Yeah, both teams have been forced to make the equal amount of saves. Kind of the pace is getting set in this game one as it usually is. West Virginia getting a few more shots, but still pretty even between both. Preston going to the right. Daunt and Angel, though, are waiting for him. And that's some valuable touches that West Virginia are getting to, like I said, get themselves closer to the net, as that's a corner pass to Toole, intercepted there by Boise, as West Virginia are still trying to drum up a good plan.
Yeah, but they do force the punt out of Durtho. They're definitely preventing Boise State from gaining possession. First chance here for Preston. What can you do? And honestly, took it a little quickly there. Pass to Daunt. Sniffed out by Durtho in the middle, and everything's kind of just stalled out for both teams here. See who gets the first advantage. Toole finds a boost steal and a demo. Can that be enough? And unfortunately, Durtho just slams the door shut before they can even get ready to walk through.
Daunt goes forward there for West Virginia. On the top rope, though, both players collide. This lands in the midfield. This Angel ramps up for West Virginia. And this midfield stalemate, but these passes that West Virginia are working on, you gotta keep your eyes on that, along with the demos that West Virginia are putting on. Doesn't seem to benefit them a whole lot, to maybe just cause a bit of confusion within Boise State, who are still able to transition to an offense despite being down that player. Now it's Woozy up high with the reset to just trying to fake out against Toole, who has great patience and enough drive to get the blue half, where Angel now with the shot that Preston reads well. Toole ready on the right side, and Daunt is already heading back for boost.
Toole was waiting for it, unfortunately not able to capitalize. Preston pressing the issue there in the middle, and Durtho just a delaying touch to hopefully prevent eventual concession towards the end of the game. And Boise State willing to take a few risks on limited time. Woozy's there, and they will capitalize.
Great couple of touches there from Durtho. When Don went for the clear, didn't have the follow-up, and Preston's just there to disrupt. And Woozy, the way he's able to cut that left side, it's a difficult angle, but one finally that Boise were able to produce in the last 30 seconds of the game. West Virginia don't have a lot of time to crack this egg, but depends on how this challenge in the corner goes. Tool waits, he wins it, but Woozy's up and above to send this far away. Angel in the midfield, that's where West Virginia are anchored. But what do they do besides own the midfield when they don't have the ball? It's Boise State now that are sent back to their side, and Daunt really hopes to connect with more players, but West Virginia just haven't been able to get any threat level going. Unless this pass goes. Oh, it's so close, but no cigar.
Ooh, Angel, okay. A lot of space. Tool, that's a decent lift, but a very awkward ball for your teammate. And they're gonna miss. Durtho comes up empty. Angel holds the ball, and Woozy just smokes that one out to the corner. I thought for a second West Virginia gonna pull a rabbit out of the hat there and just walk right through Boise State, but not to be. Turned aside despite 11 shots. What is that? 5, 8... 10 saves for Boise State, so only one unaccounted for, and it was indeed one off the bar, I believe, at the end.
It's been all in like the second half. I feel like the first, I didn't even notice there was 30 seconds left until the timer told me. Like, it felt like a very long game of both teams just playing really slow and figuring out how to move around the field. And then the passes started to sort of happen in the last 2 minutes. So I think this is just the beginning of what to expect.
I definitely agree. In a best of 7, this compared to some of the games we've seen today, that was very much poke and prod. What do you got for me? We'll see what we can kind of do. It was dry, I think is the word I want.
Yeah.
not a whole lot of spice to really sink your teeth into on that one. But Boise State, credit to Durtho, found a nice double tap off the backboard that West Virginia not able to keep up with. You'll take what you can get in a game like that where it's a very even all throughout, and hey, if one pops into the middle, hopefully somebody's there, but I think I'm with you, Lemon. That feels like definitely an aperitif before the main course.
And in this best of 7, we have timeouts now, and the coaching situation is what's really interesting between both these teams. Boise has been this player-run team where last year at the World Championship, Instinct, who was on the roster back then, was a lot of kind of he was the strat guy for that team. Now he's moved on, graduated. You have 2 freshmen in Woozy and Preston, where Woozy looks like a really vocal player, at least when I'm looking at the cameras. But when all that kind of mental composure is up to freshmen and just players to pick each other back up and not that neutral fourth person, I worry. But it's worked out for them thus far, right? They have a flawless season. West Virginia, they have an RLCS level coach of Evil who has their back. See if that makes a difference in the upcoming games.
Certainly something to keep an eye on. We've definitely seen some coaches have impacts on their respective programs. Angel wants to squeeze one top right early on into game 2, but so far, really curious if either team was able to develop a game plan for the other here. Because it didn't feel like there was an idea of what we were going for. It was just, hey, let's go out there, let's play car soccer, steal some booze, see what happens, dump one out to Tool and score the opener.
It felt like there was 2 of Boise just doing a bit of ball chasing. That's why I was kind of laughing at you. Woozy and Durtho just completely missed that. And that's an open pass, an open net. And Boise gotta communicate. If this is gonna be player run, you need that leader on the pitch that is gonna hopefully spot these mistakes and know how to correct them in a way that you can keep playing.
Ooh, unfortunate. Woozy kind of just waiting there on the back line, I think. He's directly in position for a terrible kickoff from Boise State. Kept the lead from extending. West Virginia, your first lead. How do you hang on to it? Honestly, they might not struggle too much. They kept Boise State, as we said back in game 1, fairly locked in. Never really having to defend a whole lot. So we'll see if West Virginia is able to continue keeping that time of pressure. And if they do, it's just going to waste all the time off the clock.
maybe Boise felt like they needed to get more possession of the ball because it was just a scoreless game for so long. So they're involving more players on the pitch, and maybe that's creating some unnecessary gaps that West Virginia have already started to find. And well, looks like Boise will create gaps by force if needed. They'd get some demos. They steal back the ball. This goes to Durtho, to the back wall, not the double touch, and Preston can't make that work either.
And Durtho, I think, was quite surprised to see an errant touch from West Virginia. Just couldn't get a handle on it. Had a chance to maybe put one on target somewhere. Daunt and Angel figuring out who will actually challenge the ball in the corner, and here's they made the right choice. Possession back for West Virginia. Tool, can you bury this one? Preston's not even going to give him the look.
Good defense from Boise. Clears, though, are quite soft, so West Virginia can build up some pressure here. But Daunt has to just back pass this and hopefully not own goal. There we go. Tuck it to the side, and West Virginia keep the ball, but now give so much of the field up to Boise. Now get removed by force, so West Virginia go for demos to regain that midfield, but it's Boise that pushed their way through and are getting a few more shots in because of it.
A little too heavy on the touches from Boise State. Like here, an air dribble is okay, but in the situation where you're off your back line, I'd kind of prefer the power. It's when we start getting into the attacking square that I want to see more passes like that from Boise State. Nice idea. Unfortunately, the finish just a little bit wide. Woozy considering a cut. Pulled off it, definitely realizing he was beat. One way or the other, Boise State still trying to poke and prod their way to victory and not having a lot of shots to show for it. Only 1 through 3 minutes.
Well, Boise have been protecting their back wall really well. I think there was a few denials of double tap opportunities, but what was that?
Oh my day, well let's take a look. Angel, and then bounces off a card. Tool says, okay, I'm gonna defend, and he kicks it right off his teammate's nose right into his own net. Unlucky. Not even really Tool's fault. I mean, his teammate's just right where he hit the ball.
Not the coolest equalizer I've ever seen, but one nonetheless that will generate some hype for this game too. Boise are up in the series. West Virginia clawing their way back in. Pass over to Tool. No, Preston there first. Preston has been that spark plug for Boise who starts these offenses. He just needs some help, someone to play closer to him, someone to react and find these rebounds quicker, and maybe Boise can generate that pressure to get way more goals than just one on the board.
Nice lift from Tristan, but Angel, great job going out there and closing that one down. Woozy has a look, and he will choose to take the space, and Daunt with a little backflip just to make sure he didn't give the ball back.
Here comes Angel. He can do some magic in the air. He dodges dirt, though. Both players from Boise protect that back wall, and not only that, they clear it, so the double commit ends up working out there for Boise. No chance for West Virginia to capitalize. Now it's a midfield scuffle where Angel dives at the ball. Preston's there first to get the touch out. And Angel's looking for bumps. He's looking for boosts. And Tool is just looking for friends to pass to. It's been teams being good at transitioning, but not necessarily threatening the net.
Ooh, and it's a free ball. Durtho first to it, actually. Surprising considering all the time, and that's a total whiff. Preston throws it to the floor, and it's going to be 2-1 Boise State.
Is it the second time now that Boise got a goal off of West Virginia just making some defensive flubs? And that's when you have just a close game like this, and the mental starts getting to you. 23 seconds. The smallest lead ever for Boise, but one that can get them closer to the upper final. It's a long best of 7, and there is the tie, all thanks to Daunt.
Needs some discipline there on the Boise State backline. Preston, excuse me, there we go. That's
Other series.
Other one. Preston, not thinking Woozy was going to get a touch on it, and double committed for the save. Couldn't go back and get the other one, so a crazy kickoff equalizer for West Virginia, and honestly, you'll take that considering how you conceded the go-ahead. What happens with 10 left? Durtho just wants to sit on one, and unfortunately, nothing really going for either team here. Yeah, just throw it to the floor. Let's go to OT.
Okay, good touch by Durtho to just send it away, just in case West Virginia were there lurking for the shot in front of the net, but we go to OT in game 2. See if West Virginia can tie up our series, or will Boise have this commanding lead while all eyes are on Angel? Rodurtho is ready.
What to do for both of these teams? I'm trying to think about what I would want to try here, and it just feels like such a solid approach from both. Oh, that's a big miss. That's not good. We definitely do not want to miss the ball.
Don't miss the ball. Number one coach advice. If you had a coach, not all teams have coaches. Tell you not to miss. 36 seconds into OT, it's a lot of attempted passes. It's forcing a lot of big positional adjustments from players that can't get to the ball on time. So it's possessions that are traded back and forth. But Angel and Dawn versus Preston in the net. It's tucked to the right side. And it's West Virginia that tie our series.
Beautiful play here from Angel and Dawn. And that's the right way to play the 2-on-1. Force Preston to show his hand. You don't have to give him anything. Let the ball roll for as long as possible. And finally, when he got too antsy on the goal line, jumped up, and they just let that one roll right across goal mouth. Great job from West Virginia, taking what Preston gave him. Preston's been pretty good on the back line, I will say. That first game, there were some nasty saves out there. So you definitely had to make sure you converted the 2-on-1 if you're West Virginia. You like to see the series equalized, even if both teams are kind of feeling like they're lacking a little bit of bite in terms of offense.
Yeah, especially after the previous series we've seen where we were having some of the best CRL players compete, and then they have so much speed. But these are both teams that are a lot more methodical, a lot more measured, take more time to really think of that approach. And as the games go on, I'm sure this is going to ramp up. I mean, we all obviously have more goals in that second half as teams get more comfortable on the pitch. And the fact that West Virginia, their defense was a lot more challenged. They had to put up a lot more saves, and they're the ones who came out with the win in the end.
Well done. You'll take the win however you can find it. But again, it felt so gridlocked for so long. Just feeling like someone has to decide they're just going to take over this game, it feels like, and they might just run the lobby once they do that. And I think if one person says, look, watch this, I think that might inspire everybody else on the pitch to be like, oh, yeah, okay, I can do that too. And then you might see some fireworks. But until then, this feels like such a positional battle.
It is. It's a chess match where both kings haven't fallen yet. I don't know a lot about chess. That's more of your thing.
And that was accurate.
Something about kings. But
nailed it.
We'll see what king will stand at the end. It's off the cross. Both defenders whiff on the Boise side, and Tool takes advantage.
Rodurtho was hoping against hope. Maybe his teammate can get to this one, but unfortunately got a hand up, but not cleared it. Rodurtho trying to defend the part of the net that his teammate definitely couldn't get. Unfortunately, the shot too hot to get to in the top right. Boise State down early.
What hurt West Virginia in game 2, even though they ended up winning, was some, defensive lapses in judgment. Now this time you're seeing that out of Boise. We've seen Boise go for these double commits, but they've never been punished. If anything, it's maybe helped them to have more members committed, but it's an open shot for Woozy. Saved away, and here's the counterattack. You want to see West Virginia play this quick while Boise are out of position, but Rodurtho did a good job, and Preston did a good job of slowing that down, and Boise want to fire back, but here comes West Virginia! The Bane train that's redirected right into the corner.
That was a free goal for West Virginia. You gotta score that. You stole the pass into the middle from the third man, and then you biff the touch. Devastating.
That's tough. West Virginia should still be happy because they're still winning.
Still winning. But never once have I felt comfortable with a 1-goal lead.
That's so true, especially against Boise. Heck no. But West Virginia, they've been picking off more offenses than not. You see Boise trying to take a better position there in the midfield, but when Angel goes above and beyond, it's tough to slow down West Virginia, and maybe you gotta give Angel the ball more if he's able to successfully transition West Virginia on a consistent basis, but does that really lead to offenses?
Nice.
Well, Woozy to Preston, a save by Tool. But is West Virginia able to get out? Yeah, they chased Rodurtho away.
Really great try, though, with the bump off the pass from the corner. This time it's a touch straight down the seam from Preston. Durtho really trying to force the 50s. The boost steal's coming. Now Boise State starting to come alive a little bit, taking advantage of some extra space they've created.
Gotta keep this momentum going, but it's a free ball. Oh, Angel just broke that guy's ankles. Well, what can they do from this moment? West Virginia colliding there with the defenders, but quicker recovery from this offense. Trying to cross in front of this net. Preston won't allow it. Tool keeps the offense going. West Virginia gotta stack this corner. Boise now regain control of the ball, clear it back down. West Virginia wanted to send it back, but they get demoed. So Boise have an advantage here with the member up and space to work with, but hey, that's all given up right away.
Nasty bounce out of the corner. And right now, Boise State just hoping to hold on, just clearing it side to side, hoping that the person behind them will have the boost to go and get it. This time they will find a deep clear and picked off in the middle. Shunt on Daunt. Tool, unfortunately, ready on the net. Quick to recover. Once again, back to dead even in terms of transition for both sides.
Really low scoring game as Boise. This is a beautiful pass. Durtho gets it done, and we're tied 1-1.
Massive hello woozy. What are we doing? Ranging all the way to the opponent's back wall? Who can say? But what I know is it was a gorgeous drop pass back into the middle. No one from West Virginia expecting that, and an easy layup for the teammate.
We have a tie game. The lead hasn't gone too far away from either of these teams. West Virginia, their energy's ramping up. They got the demo, but Tool couldn't follow up on his touch. Kind of being patient with it, trying to back away, then gets demoed. Boise are not afraid to bully you off the field, but Tool to Dawn, the shot blocked there by Preston. And he's quick to send this away too.
And a soft clear from Tool kind of just punts away possession a little bit. Durtho actually returning the favor, though. Both teams struggling to really bring this ball under their control and forcing the issue of possession. It is very much a get your touch and figure out where to go next type of series so far.
Feels like a wrestling match more than like car soccer, the way that both these teams are just fighting each other just to have the ball, let alone do anything really with it. Now Angel is just taking this to the midfield where West Virginia aren't. This control from Durtho is nice, but Preston couldn't find the recovery there on the right, so Tool runs away, flicks it up. Dart, he was a little late to the touch, so he pops it up, and now West Virginia got to make something out of nothing.
Angel in a very awkward position there, played it wonderfully, got it out to his teammates, steals some boost here. West Virginia should be in a comfortable spot for the last 10 seconds with all that time that bought. Does it net them a chance on goal?
Be going into another OT. Depends how this midfield goes. One there by Woozy. Misses the second touch. Sets to Preston! Tool didn't see it in time! Boise rob game 3!
So close. Wasn't even sure. You might have had to slip a piece of paper under that one to make sure it didn't hit the ground. But Preston, 127 kph, a rocket to the lower left-hand side to close out game 3. Surprise, surprise, we're out in front in regulation. West Virginia, that was a pretty decent game. Honestly, I thought they were going to be a lot more ready to go. And that is crazy. Daunt, 5 minutes of gameplay, 56 score. I didn't really feel like he was playing poorly or anything. Felt like they were always in position, but sometimes that's just how the game works out. It's a low-scoring affair. And West Virginia just could never find a nice, clean shot on the net outside of the first one.
Yeah, Boise had Preston, who was usually that offensive driver, but then it felt like this game Boise were more of a unit.
Oh my gosh.
And then West Virginia, look at the score. I mean, Tool's the one with the most amount of score by a long shot. Like, he's doing it all for West Virginia, and you need to see them be a machine together. Everyone has to be a cog in this machine. You can't depend on Tool for everything.
Yeah, I really just want to see everybody see if we can stop, smacking the ball on first touch. I think that's really where things start to change a little bit. for whichever team decides to do that, and I think it will change in their favor. I don't think either of these teams wants to play the "I'm up, okay, I got my touch, I'm going to grab boost, good luck" type of gameplay. That just, to me, that doesn't feel like it suits either of them.
We enter game 4 now with Boise up in the series 2-1. Woozy, what a flick above the one. But he needs some help there, and Preston goes up high to slap it in. The defenders from West Virginia won't let it happen. Good attempt at the quick pass in the infield, but West Virginia have this on lock, and they have something to say right back. And great touch by Dirtho. This tool, he was lurking for a chance.
There we go. We're definitely starting to see a couple players on both squads try and force it down into their own control. Dirtho doing just that, gets punted off the play. Woozy goes for a stutter step. It's right out to Preston, who wants the open backboard. Can he squeeze it down for Dirtho? Left side. Boise State convert on the first drive.
And that's what I mean, that Boise are a structure. These are selfless players. Like Preston, didn't get the double tap. You think that that's a failure. No, it's success, because it goes always to Dirtho, just like it did in game 3. He's the janitor on duty. He cleans it up for Boise, but it's only the first goal. You're gonna need more than that to really feel insured against a team as good as West Virginia, coming from such a powerful region. And that answer could be right here with all the demos that Tool is putting up. Surprisingly, they don't come up with the ball.
Ooh, quality clear from Daunt for real. Ends up right back where that touch originated from. No one able to get a handle on it. West Virginia, now you need something. You have to prove you can generate an advantage here, as Boise State stole game 3 from what could have been an overtime. And now you have to prove you're the better squad. Otherwise, you gotta win 3 straight. And Boise State, you should feel pretty comfortable right now, to be honest. With how gridlocked so many of these games have been, don't even think about changing anything now.
Oh, 2 players committed there from Boise. Gotta be careful if you're gonna send 2 players flying like that, when West Virginia sometimes can play so unpredictably. As Preston and Woozy drive down the midfield, breaking some ankles, but they crash into the corner, and Preston couldn't get the pass out to the player in the box. So that is a really big missed opportunity there from Boise, and one that West Virginia can capitalize on.
Giant triple commit from Boise State. This is a very awkward defensive sequence. Preston will just launch it towards the midfield. Not a lot of boost over on that Boise State side. Be careful here if you're on blue.
Defensively, Boise are solid. Now it's all the way down.
Is it in?
Not? Okay, it's not even on target, I guess, but Boise, they have West Virginia exactly where they want them, but they don't exactly have the ball, so Boise gotta fight tooth and nail for this. Tool winning that, but there's layers to Boise, and you gotta peel this back. This drops to Woozy. Careful, Dirtho, and Woozy moves them out of the way. I can't believe it. 2-0 for Boise.
The commitment to turn on this. Dirtho kind of gets spun out, but Woozy doesn't commit to the corner boost steal. He says, yeah, just turn around on the back wall. What's the worst that could happen? Nothing. You're scoring.
This is the quickest reaction. Oh, okay, Dirtho? What are you doing? Oh my, the shattered ankles on this field is insane. Dirtho, you maniac.
Oh, the stutter step. It's so good. You don't need a lot of boost. I mean, that short hop to get through one, and then he just froze the defender thinking, look, I'm gonna hit it, and they waited, and he gave him that left-hand side. Dirtho took it instantly.
Man, the snowball just turned into an avalanche when it comes to Boise. This is the largest lead we've had all series, and now everyone's exploding. When in doubt, I guess go for demos, but I don't think that's really the answer for West Virginia, or is it? The pass comes out to Daunt. Well placed on the right side. West Virginia are not dead yet.
We use results-based thinking and say, yes, the demo is what caused that. And
Totally.
And not the mistouch from West Virginia or Boise State in their corner, or the really nice pass. But to be fair, physicality, definitely a good tool to unpack right now. Oh, but they're gonna miss the ball again!
Okay, this was 3-0, and within 10 seconds, 2 goals for West Virginia. Okay, the game's not over, guys.
I guess Durtho couldn't really do a whole lot. He was out there grabbing corner boosts, so that's fine, and he just took his best guess as he went across net. But oh boy, talk about making this one a lot more stressful than it should have been. You're up 3-0 with 2 minutes on the clock, and inside of 20 seconds, they're back within striking distance? Yikes.
Good touch there by Daunt. West Virginia picking up the pace. Durtho showed off some good mechanics before, and when Preston comes in just in time as Durtho runs out of boost, now Woozy is involved. This crosses in front of the net. West Virginia can't let that happen. But still only a 3-2 score. Preston going in for round 2, but West Virginia learned from their mistakes. And they get this clear going, though. It's a free ball that West Virginia are too slow to get to. They need to get something going. There's only a minute left.
The comms definitely not super clean for West Virginia. They're not sure exactly where the play is headed. They're not ready for wherever the ball ends up. And boy, gotta settle down at least a little bit, but you still have plenty of time. That's a nasty one to handle. Dawn caught flat-footed on the goal line just watching the challenge occur in front of him. And by the time it was over, no chance.
Poor Angel. Stuffed in a locker. Lunch money gone. Boise in the driver's seat. Up by 2 with 37 seconds left. This will put Boise to match point unless West Virginia have something to say about it. You gotta stop Durtho. He's doing too much.
Is the long, clear game the way? I guess with 20 seconds, you don't have much of a choice. You gotta just smash that ball for maximum distance and hope for the best.
Hey, Dawn and Angel's too far to get that pass, and West Virginia could get that going. I think they'd be so much more accurate, so much more successful at executing these setups because they're good at getting at the blue half, but gas just ran out of the tank at the last second when they needed to come back. They almost did, but it's Boise now that go to match point.
Stressful game 4 for West Virginia, to be honest. Playing a pretty decent game. You know, I'm not going to say anybody's doing anything crazy. Nobody's doing anything amazing, but what did we say earlier before that game? You just needed some people to start saying, look, I'm going to make something happen. And Durtho and Woozy, that combo 50, just commit to trying to jam the ball into the net where they got things scored, and then bang, they just ran away. Took a 3-0 lead. Yes, West Virginia brought it back, but you create that type of cushion for yourself that early on. It's tough to overcome no matter how good you are at this game. Any team that knows they don't have to score anymore is incredibly tough to beat. So well done, Boise State. You committed, you tried to make something happen in a very tenuous position, and your bravery, I suppose. There's a fine line between bravery and stupidity, right? And Boise State, since they were rewarded with a goal there, it is definitely bravery, and it paid big dividends there in Game 4.
It's only stupid if it doesn't work out.
Exactly.
What has worked out is Durtho. Holy cow, did this guy pop off in that last game. And it felt like just both teams were in this mind game. We already made the chess reference, but that's what it really felt like. Just the way that whoever had control of the ball had to slow it down. You had plays like you had to make a split-second decision on the spot like Woozy just did, to just these super slow shots sometimes in the net where placement is everything. I still think this is a close match.
It is close. The scoreline does not say it's close, but it's been tight all the way throughout, and West Virginia definitely right to take the time out here. They know it's definitely been an awkward series, and certainly not most pleased with how things have played out thus far. And you know, if you're Angel, Tool, and Daunt, weirdly enough, it feels like the guy you gotta watch out for. While Durtho did pop off, Preston and Woozy, when they come through, they really put a lot of pressure on that West Virginia defense. As you said, Durtho, great janitor. Oh my goodness gracious me. Cannot count that dude out in a one-on-one. But when it comes to generating the pressure, it's the touches from Preston and Woozy that are causing a lot of problems for West Virginia.
Well, there's a lot of pressure now. All the weight is on the shoulders of West Virginia as it's match point for Boise, but it's the upper bracket, so you get that second life because you've done just so well in the season. West Virginia coming out second there in the East, Boise first in the West. West Virginia, they're hoping to break that streak from Boise, but it's a tough road. Gotta see what Angel can do. He just gets demoed off the ball, I guess, as he was trying to just pop this up. But Don has his back, and West Virginia, while missing members, it's tough to keep that pressure going, but now everyone's back in, and Durtho just bounces above everyone, but Don's back in time to stop that free open nets, and okay. Dangerous cross there.
Dangerous cross is right. Fortunate that the third man from Boise State not ready for it. Angel, that's a difficult ball to get up to. Now the boost deals come through. Now Preston wins a 50, and it just was a cavalcade of positive outcomes for Boise State.
No time Preston got his flowers. Like, Preston's just been at least this leader on the pitch as I see him. He's always leading that charge. He's always first on the ball. And even as a freshman, he shows so much confidence. And finally, he's able to get a goal, to get that ball rolling for Boise, metaphorically, physically. Durtho's already up in the sky. He's ready to get this charge going. Woozy to the corner. Tool's trying to read this. Good, at least small touch to get Boise off their rocker just a little bit. Woozy jumps and great interception by Angel. But Don has to make sure this clear goes away because Boise are starting to look real scary.
Preston wants to try that setup out of the corner one more time. And this time we will trade his life for Tools, and Angel finding a nice clear. Boy, reeling a little bit here if you're West Virginia. You just took your timeout, and then you just get beat early on in match point. Preston and Durtho giving a lot of things to consider to Angel, and certainly equal to the task in the net there.
Yeah, West Virginia have been consistently putting up more saves than Boise, and it's been tough to score against West Virginia until maybe West Virginia thinks it's unwinnable, and then maybe they relax a bit. But Boise have been just hammering this orange half. Gotta see West Virginia try to drum up a response, because eventually there will be a hole in this net, and Boise will find it. Oh, man, some valuable touches. Angel over to Dawn. This is a counterattack that could be fruitful. Depends how Tool and Dawn handle this. It's still tipped back over to the corner where Boise are not letting this go for free. And Dawn tries to cut the corner, but not working out.
Angel became indeed the biggest part there with so many huge blocks trying to keep it in the box of Boise State, and it has succeeded in at least keeping possession, but man, it's got to be frustrating to not find a net there with that many strong 50s out of a play like that.
Yeah, it's 5 shots to 2 in favor of West Virginia, but I see a blue team winning right now, and that's what matters. Execution at the end of the day, and Tool gets executed, so you got a member advantage for Boise. So their defense seems to be okay, and maybe a hole was created there when Daunt goes for the demo, but couldn't really get a handle on the ball to make something of that. Daunt over the Tool, okay, double commit. Angel and Tool got to talk to each other, and midfield, a scuffle for West Virginia as they inch closer to a scoring opportunity with less than 90 seconds left.
Oh, Angel to Tool, Durtho all over it. What a piece of coverage there to spot that pass, but man, that feels like a great dagger to present if you're West Virginia, and you're just amazed it got instantly turned aside and countered parry thrust 2-0 Boise State.
This is deja vu. We've seen this play before where you go for like the attempted double tap and you miss the second touch and it falls to the guy right in front of the net. You fell for the Boise trick.
The ultimate decoy. It is so tough to defend that because you have to respect the potential redirects, because if they hit it, that thing's going top right and no one's saving it. But everyone always has to keep it in the back of their mind that, you know, that fake is there, and Angel will get him back within striking distance. A dish from Daunt. West Virginia not done yet.
Yeah, just down low where Angel and Tool almost collided into each other. So to dodge that at the last second and still have the composure to place that ball so well. West Virginia are quick to maybe scoop the spaghetti off the floor when it's been dropped, and now they keep themselves within one. Tool almost connecting there with a pass. West Virginia never back down, they never give up, and Tool gets that pass thrown away. Preston needs help getting out of the situation. It's getting dire. West Virginia, the pressure is getting scary, and this almost goes to Angel. Good send away by Boise.
Decisive attack from Durtho on defense, and West Virginia turned these couple attempts aside, but it's valuable time off the clock. Angel will sniff out a pass. Huge shove from Boise State, to be honest. Surprised to see him commit that hard, and Woozy will just trade a little paint there in the middle with Tool and keep them from equalizing. Angel with an air dribble bump, and Woozy finds a clear. What happens at 0 seconds? West Virginia, you gotta track it down.
Can't even get the ball back in the air, and there you have it. Boise State continue their flawless season. Man, and what a showing too. Not the highest scoring game, but the one, it's the shots that matter. Boise were able to keep West Virginia at bay, and West Virginia were able to sneak away a game 2 with OT, but Boise, you gotta respect them, and you gotta respect the West.
Smooth, certainly earned their respect there. West Virginia, they were not a team anybody would have taken lightly, and to be honest, I think past game 2, Boise State felt like they had a pretty good number on how yeah, flex the guns, Durtho. But Boise State felt like they had a pretty good read on how West Virginia wanted to operate. And apart from, Angel or whoever it happened to be, Daunt or Tool, didn't make a difference, it was taking some real big maximum effort type of setups for West Virginia to even get quality scoring opportunities. So the first couple of games in the series, a little bit dry, people trying to figure it out, but you cannot argue that the ones that did, Boise State, no question.
Yeah, that's a win for Boise, who move on to face the scariest team in CRL, to say the least. Northwood Blue in that upper final, and West Virginia dropped to face Ball State. The underdogs of CRL, the lowest seed, but the ones making that Cinderella story in the lower bracket. This has been a really fun match, a much slower one, but a lot more decisive, right? It's just taken a lot of time to get the setups going, but man, when those passes are accurate, you got some absolute cannons coming out.
Yeah, great conversion rate for a lot of people when they got their chances. That was certainly the positional warfare for sure for both teams there. And unfortunately, West Virginia, their first run on the playoffs here in the fall, ultimately leads to an L, but that is okay. Boise State is undefeated for a reason. They earn a win, like you said. Now they go against Northwood, and if you're West Virginia, I can't say I'm super stoked about having to play any of those teams in the lower bracket. It has been an absolute bloodbath down there with some crazy players, so looking forward to it to continue, I suppose.
Yeah, the bloodbath, we're actually going to be dropping right into that, going back to the lower bracket. We got 2 more matches today, y'all. Don't go anywhere. St. Edward's versus Fisher College. Who is going to live on in our fall championship? Find out after the break.
I was putting in the